Hi everybody, welcome back. So if you noticed, I have my Christmas tree back here in the background, and I also have two little Christmas trees on my TV shelf as well. So today we're going to be reading about Christmas trees. This special book is called Christmas Tree Farm by Anne Permel. And I read this story with my students last week, and we actually made our own class book based off of this book, where we painted our hands green and stamped them on a piece of paper. And then once all the paint was dry, we used a brown Sharpie or a brown crayon, colored pencil, marker, and we drew our own branches in our hand and made our own Christmas trees, just like this book. Grandpa and I sit on the seat of his tractor. We drive along the path that winds through the woods, filled with Christmas trees. There are spruces, pines, and firs. Some of these trees are older than Grandpa. It is November and the snow sprinkles to the ground. The air is cold. It nips my nose. We wear warm coats, hats, gloves, and boots. Grandpa points to a tree with bushy branches. We climb down. This is a good Scotch pine, he says. Grandpa and I pull safety glasses over our eyes. The chainsaw starts with a roar. Grandpa holds the whirling blade at the bottom of the tree, cutting through the trunk. Wood chips fly and the tree topples over. Grandpa switches off the saw. It is quiet except for the cawing of the crows. He holds the pine by its trunk and shakes it. Dry needles fall to the ground. How many of you have a real Christmas tree in your house? You'll know it's a real tree because you have all those little pines that fall off and you have to add water to your tree. My tree back here is pretend. It's just made of plastic, so I don't have to water it. Grandpa drags the tree to the wagon. Behind the tractor. 1, 2, 3. We lift the tree together into the wagon. Back on the tractor, Grandpa nods at Douglas fir with the short, soft needles. We add it to our tool. The cut trees are being cut all afternoon. My gloves are sticky with pine sap, and the smell tickles my nose. By dinner time, the wagon is full of trees for people who cannot cut their own. The day after Thanksgiving, Grandpa unloads the door of the tree hut where the customers play for their Christmas trees. He switches on the lights strung across the fence by the road. The Christmas tree farm is open for the holidays. Most people tramp through the woods until they find a Christmas tree that looks just right to them. They cut down the tree and carry it to the tree hut, where we collect their money and offer them Christmas cookies baked by Grandma. Keep your tree in a cool place until it comes and shake it so the dead needles fall off. Cut a thin slice of trunk off so it will get lots to drink. Put it in and stand and make sure it always has lots of water. People drive from everywhere to buy their Christmas trees from Grandpa. He loves to talk about the trees. He gives tips on how to keep them fresh at home. Grandpa talks as he pulls the trees through the baller. The tree comes out the other end covered in a net that holds the branches close to the trunk. Now it's easier to tie to the roof of your car. Most people do not know that Christmas tree farming is a year-long work. In the spring, a truck driver delivers seedlings that are not much bigger than Grandpa's hand. The seedlings have many enemies. There are insects and diseases, rabbits and deer. We lose many seedlings, so we must plant more than we will ever need. Grandpa, Dad, my sister Emily, and I plant the seedlings in straight rows. Each row is exactly 6 feet from the next. We leave enough space so we can drive a tractor with back-end blades between the rows, turning up the soil so weeds do not hurt the young trees. By summertime, the trees are wild and shaggy with new growth. Under the hot sun, we trim and prune the shape of the trees. When we are done, they look like real Christmas trees. So did you know that's not what Christmas trees look like? They look big and bushy like this, and then they have to cut them to look pointy like the Christmas trees that we see in our home. I did not know that. In the fall, we measure and tag all the trees. Grandpa used a wooden pole painted with different colored rings. The pole shows how tall a tree is, so we know how much it will cost. A tree as tall as the orange ring is 4 feet tall and gets an orange tag. Blue means 5 feet. A tree that is 6 feet gets a red tag, and the tallest trees are marked with yellow tags and are 7 feet and up. It takes more than 15 years for a Christmas tree to grow that tall. It's no surprise that trees with yellow tags are the most expensive. Grandpa closes the tree hut early on Christmas Eve. I count the money while he oils and hangs the saws until next year. This is the day when aunts, uncles, cousins come to Grandpa's house and Grandma's house for an old-time tree trimming party. In the backyard, we decorate the blue spruce with strings of popcorn and cranberries, birdseed wreaths, and stars of soot. We stand at the window and watch the birds feast on the glow of our Christmas tree. So they're feeding all the animals. The end. And then it shows all the different kinds of trees. There's Colorado blue spruce, Fraser fir, Virginia pine, Scotch pine, Norway spruce, white pine, Douglas fir, and balsam fir. So I'll show you these real close. Those are all the different kinds of trees that they have in their Christmas tree farm. The end. I hope you learned something new about Christmas trees and Christmas tree farming, and I hope that you maybe learned something new about Christmas traditions as well. I will see you all next time. Bye.